Welcome back. Well, right here, still all about subsidy, fuel subsidy removal, and amid skyrocketing energy costs in Nigeria following the removal of subsidies, many Nigerians are adjusting to new economical lifestyles, sequel to the pronouncement on May 29 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Fuel prices have jumped by between 150 to 200% across the country. What can Nigerians expect going forward with negotiations right now with IPMAN and the federal government? Joining me now is Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo, National President, IPMAN, joining me from Abuja studio. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Lady, for having me.
And happy Democracy Day, I must add. But since May 29, Nigerians have had to pay over 150% more for fuel. How is IPMAN seeing, all of this play out? We know fuel subsidy removal is needed, but how much can Nigerians take at this point?
Well, I think we have been in this removal or no removal for a very long time. I think it has also reduced the speed at which the country would have moved in getting other energy mix. IPMAN have brought a good news that will act as a relief to a lot of families. And what is that good news? We have brought the usage of our abundant natural gas, CNG, that will now begin to use to power both our vehicle, our generators, and even cooking. That in itself will reduce to a large extent the exposure that this country is going in terms of importation, the pressure on naira against dollar, volatility, and whatnot. So we brought that to the Nigerian public when the immediate past president was there, and he gave us all the support we needed. Even that led us to the meeting that was convened by the Minister of Finance, wherein a lot of people, both the NNPC and other government agencies, were in that meeting. And in that meeting, it was discovered there is no alternative for a country transiting from fuel, PMS, than this gas. And the good news is that this thing is not going to be imported. It's here. It's being flayed in billions of cups every day. Some company, even to avert the penalty, will even inject this gas back to the ground, and other ecological impact will also be there. But
all right, Mr. Okoronkwo, yes. So
by the time government buys into what we're saying, it will act as a succor, it will bring a lot of relief, it will create job opportunities unimaginable, and the people will begin to enjoy it. This gas will give us a mileage of at least 400 to 500% of this current price of fuel, where it will be mitigated moving forward, Ladi.
Mr. Okoronkwo, we know, most of us, our cars already run on petrol and are built to run, on petrol. There were discussions about, converting, cars to, so that they can use compressed, natural gas. What happened to those plans, before? And, there is a cost, for converting. Who's going to bear that cost? Nigerians?
That is what we are saying, the model we want to put out. Before now, they could be doing a lot of this. This one is IPMAN program with a sophisticated company, Gas Analytics. We have gotten a lot of buy-in from companies overseas. What we need government to do in this direction is to create the market. The demand is there. A situation where the government is laying about 6,000 or 600 kilometers or 6,000 kilometers, about 6 there in that mix, to Morocco. The whole idea is to get the market. But we have a market of over 200 million people here. That by the time this thing is unleashed to this country, not only will it bring wealth and succor, it will also create job and also create economic value moving forward. So we have gotten, very soon we'll roll out in Bichi. We are 90% close to that. And that will also unveil a lot of possibilities in that CNG with our group.
Yes,
thank you.
You know, let's look at the value chain, you know, for use of CNG. How big, you know, is that value chain? What are the underground plans already happening to, you know, make that value chain quite productive?
The value chain is huge. People using even keke. I don't know if you have seen what is trending this week, where some market people with their Pass My Neighbor generator, they are beginning to, you know, use gas. That is LPG. LPG is close to 600 to 700 naira per kg. But this gas, natural gas we are talking about, is under 100 or 110 naira. When you check what the impact will be, it will reduce the cost of food because people coming from hinterland bringing food to the cities. Some maybe from Kano, it takes them for a trailer about 1,200,000 naira to fuel their truck with diesel. But with this CNG, it will cost them about maybe 150 to 200,000 naira. About 1 million naira is saved. That will translate to cheaper food, and it will also open up a lot of other businesses. The value chain where you use it in your generator at home, in your car, in your truck. Remember, we need cheaper energy to also drive this processing zone. Maybe all these, you know, agro-based industries, they need cheaper energy. That is where the gas will also create a lot of impact in this country.
Right.
And for us, we have seen it that is something that will bring on table to help the nation as a way of contribution. And pretty soon we are going to roll out, maybe before the end of this month.
Yes, and I must confess, it was quite painful for me having to fill up my my car with over 20,000 naira. I don't know where I get that money from at this point. But you know, the federal government has approved the importation of petroleum products, you know, by private firms. How much relief is this going to bring, and are there any risks to this new policy?
I have told you it will give you at least a better placing, over 400%, assuming, not conceding, that is sold for maybe 100 naira.
No, I'm talking about PMS this time. Importation of PMS.
In Nigeria.
I'm talking about importation of PMS.
Importation of PMS?
Yes.
I'm not talking about PMS. The PMS market is already there. You know, a lot of people will still deal on it. This gas does not replace PMS. Rather, it's an alternative. If you like PMS, you switch on. The same car will also have it. But we're talking about something that will, you know, help your pulse, not deepen your pulse, because the exposure is high. You heard Mr. President saying, you know, he will release succor. Some of these things are the thinking of every good government, like they are thinking. And I believe they will see this one as a means of creating another happiness for this country.
All right.
Fuel now, it's not everybody can afford it. Even when you afford it, you must be very careful on how you use it. A lot of people are not going to school now or work the way they're supposed, maybe in a week 2 or 3 times. It's not what is expected. There must be a robust and ambitious movement for the economy to move. That is what we are thinking we can create using the CNG.
Yeah, affordability is a very, very crucial issue right now. But joining us for this conversation also, still stay with us, Mr. Okoronko. We have Mr. Shuaibu Bello, Director of Gas Analytics and Solutions Limited. He's joined us via Zoom. Great to have you on the show. Good morning. Yeah, thank you for joining us. So, yeah, we've been talking about the compressed natural gas, CNG, how that's going to be a game changer, for Nigerians right now. Tell us about, most of the demands, because you are in conversation with, the federal government at this time on how to, reduce the sufferings of Nigerians at this point. Tell us about, the demands and this CNG.
No, the demand is amply growing. And this is the best palliative you can give to the nation. Because if you talk of palliative, it's not just sharing money to people. It's creating a system that will reach the rich and the poor. And this CNG we are doing will come to our users at about 100, 110 per liter. So if you compare it to where we are now, 540 averagely in the north, you have about more than 500 reduction from current price of PMS. And if you compare it to where we left, that is fuel subsidy, and before the subsidy was removed, it will be lower by about 100% equally. So either way, this is the way to go for us. And we are super ready. We've been planning this with IPMAN. IPMAN has about 30,000 filling stations. And we want to collocate these facilities with all the filling stations with IPMAN so that there will be proper reach. We have done our routing system so that you miss a filling station while you are in dire need of it along your travel route. And it's a hybrid device because you can switch to petrol if you so need be, and you can equally maintain your CNG. We are not just stopping on transportation. We have gone far on domestic gas too. Domestic gas, by the time we unveil that particular one too, which is for the lowest of the lowest in the nation, it will be selling far cheaper than firewood and it's not dangerous. It's not like LPG, so light that it doesn't really catch a flame when you mistakenly leave it open.
All right, Mr. Bello, talking about CNG, being safe. I'm guessing, for car users now, there will be some level of conversion. I've seen a picture of what that's supposed to look like. It's supposed to have some kind of gas tank in your boot. What are the dangers to that? Is there any risk to that at all?
Not really. It's just because of necessity that we started using it. It has been there for long. One of the partners we are talking to is Sri Lanka. Extensively they are using that. And I think over so many years they've been using it. It's just only one incident they had. So you can consider that not as dangerous as you are thinking of.
And Mr. Bello, how does it, because obviously we also have net zero plans right here. We have pledged, right here in Nigeria to, switch away from dirtier fuels. How does CNG play into our net zero plans?
It's a cleaner source of energy, by far cleaner than PMS. So, in fact, if you are talking of climate warming and all this kind of thing, this is safest way. This is safest way to go. Far, far cleaner and far, far easier to utilize than this thing. And the way we're going, honestly, if we have very good cooperation of the federal government, honestly, the keke people and the commercial people may get these devices free. If we have a very good understanding with the federal government, we may end up giving it free to our people. And that's how we can go, because we're talking to international bodies, international partners. So that will quicken and relieve our people from this particular quagmire. Our people find themselves because of the subsidy.
All right. All right, we do need that relief as soon as possible. But let me take it to Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo, the National President, IPMAN, in our Abuja studio. Thank you for staying on. But looking at the situation, right now, is there any chance, going forward, that PMS prices are going to come down? Because we know most times when prices go up, they never come down. Can we expect that at all going forward?
Well, I think what controls the market of fuel, diesel, is international market parity, where you price it under what is going on globally. It might go up, it might go down. But like I said, this is one aspect of energy that will also reduce that incident of not being sure of what will happen tomorrow. By the time we begin to use what is, in this country, like this CNG, see a lot of all these IOCs flaring it, even injecting it back in the ground. This gas will now begin to form basis of wealth and job creation. It might also lead to, reduction, because by the time the alternative is created, you have your the position of deciding what you really need. If you want petrol, you fix petrol. It will no more be a problem deciding where to go. That is one alternative we believe will bring happiness, and it's a good news to us. That is what we have tagged it. Good news to this nation,
Good news to the nation.
I believe a lot of refineries are coming up. Many things will happen, but ultimately, what this one will do is it will bring down the cost of energy in all its sectors in this country. Thank you.
All right, I guess we're all looking forward to using CNG going forward, because those prices of PMS right now are crazy. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu Okoronkwo, National President, IPMAN, joined us from our Abuja studio. And thank you, Mr. Shuaibu Bello, Director, Gas Analytics and Solutions Limited, who joined us via Zoom. Thank you both for coming on Business Morning, and happy Democracy Day.
Thank you, Ladi, for having us.
Thank you. All right, so we'll take a break now. When we come back, following the suspension of central bank governor, what can we expect for financial markets? That's our next conversation. Do stay with us.